banger.
What a start for Lacazette! It's in! 4-3 Arsenal!
It's Mane, it's brilliant. An extraordinary end to this crazy game.
Written in the stars! Cahill has been sent off and the champions are beaten. A dream start to their Premier League chapter. Red card for Jonjo Shelby. What an incredible start to the new Premier League season.
Go tell them now I'm back with a banger.
Nice to see you nice. 7 good games coming up. All in the company of Jermaine Genus and Danny Murphy. You're my favourites. We begin at the ground that's witnessed the fewest Premier League goals over the past 12 months. Southampton St Mary's Stadium. West Ham beaten 4-0 by Manchester United on the opening day were the visitors. Commentary comes from Mark Scott.
It was no surprise to hear Mauricio Pellegrino say Southampton have done some extra work on finishing this week, given the hatful of chances they created but failed to take against Swansea. Club record signing Mario Lemina makes his Saints debut. The Gabon international's last appearance before leaving Juventus was in their Champions League final defeat to Real Madrid. There was bad news for West Ham in the warm-up as Winston Reid picked up an injury. Angelo Ogbonna's his replacement. Amongst a handful of changes from their hammering at Old Trafford, there's a first Premier League start for 18-year-old Declan Rice, while Mikel Antonio, who top-scored for the Hammers last season, returns after 4 months out through injury. Aaron Creswell and former Saints skipper Jose Font also come in. Well met by Antonio. Yoshida underneath it though for Southampton. Antonio finds Noble. Mikel Antonio, clever pass, Arnautovic! Best chance of the game so far. It's a beautiful pass here from Mikel Antonio. Arnautovic got plenty of pace on it, but no placement. Really good chance. Slaven Bilic said he and his players were gutted after that mauling in Manchester last weekend, and he's confident we will see a reaction from them today. Noble. Davis tangling, Romeu poking forwards, Gabbiadini releasing Redmond. Gabbiadini's continued his run and is found here by Redmond. 1-0 Southampton. The long wait for a goal at St Mary's for the Saints is finally over, and Manolo Gabbiadini ends his personal drought as well. Gabbiadini started the move, timed his run perfectly, and then just sent it beyond Joe Hart. Gabbiadini, who scored on his Southampton debut against West Ham here in February, is on target against the Hammers early on today. Early for the run of Antonio, who was almost in round the back. Ishida did well. It's broken kindly for Hernandez. Great early ball in! And a fabulous save from Fraser Forster to deny Marko Arnautovic. Such a good delivery this. Arnautovic did well and Forster got his angles right. Font receiving the pantomime boos. Romeu's knock on. Lemina's done enough to help it onto Tadic, who's worked it into Gabbiadini. Gabbiadini needs support, doesn't get it. Oh, and then Noble was quite strong in the challenge, but meanwhile Arnautovic is down here and Pablo Zabaleta is making the case to Lee Mason that there was an elbow in there. Lemina has his arm up. Meanwhile, just after that, Noble leapt into this challenge. Gary Cahill saw red for a challenge not too dissimilar to that last weekend. Maybe a lucky boy, Mark Noble. Stevens waited and then finds Romeu, and he was caught late by Arnautovic. Oh, he's off! Marko Arnautovic is stunned. Oh, that is nasty from Marko Arnautovic. Can't have any complaints about that. Arnautovic, having hit out at Stevens, is now kicking out at a bag as he makes his way off. What must he be thinking? Redmond. Oh, lovely pass. Davis. Oh, he's tracked back, surely. Jose Font, the former Southampton skipper, has dragged Davis back, and the Saints will have a chance from the spot to make it 2-0. Good ball in from Redmond. Font drags him back. It's an easy decision for Lee Mason to make here. Dusan Tadic had a penalty saved against Hull here in April. But he sucked this one away, although he got a bit lucky as it came off Joe Hart. Tadic went for power straight down the middle, and Hart's legs almost kept it out. Gave away 4 Premier League penalties last season, Jose Font, and he's left Slaven Bilic's side in real trouble now. Mikel Antonio, good strength, great turn, and not a bad hit, and there's Hernandez, and West Ham are back in the game. Javier Hernandez has his first goal for the Hammers. It's all about the work of Mikel Antonio here. Smashed it goalwards, Forster couldn't hold it, but credit to Hernandez for his reactions, and he is off the mark in a West Ham shirt. This is the second of 3 away games to start the season for Slaven Bilic's side, due to the time required to turn the London Stadium back into a football ground following the World Athletics Championships. Looks like being a long one from Antonio. Forster thought about coming, didn't. Ayew was in there, now West Ham asking for a hand. They are convinced, Lee Mason isn't. And it's a free kick for Southampton. Jack Stevens is the man that they were appealing against. Well, it does come off his arm. You can see why West Ham were asking the question. Tadic. Gabbiadini is going to have a pop. Oh, great try. Really well struck by the Italian, and a whisker away from making it 3-1. Katarina Lieber is now a co-owner of Southampton following the new partnership announced this week with Jishen Gao and his family, who Lieber says are planning to follow the Southampton way. Cedric, 4 in the box to aim for, and Hart thought about coming, didn't, and Zabaleta has to send it behind. Taken short by Redmond. Davis, Redmond to Bertrand. Now comes the cross, Gabbiadini waiting, Hart fisting away. Tadic, still plenty up there for Southampton. Tadic to have a pop! Good block from Joe Hart. Tadic already has 1 goal in the bank, and prevented from adding to that by a smart save from Joe Hart. Edemilson Fernandez, spread nicely to Cresswell. Sacco's in the middle, great ball, Sacco! Oh, it stays up and in from Hernandez, and West Ham are level. What a remarkable recovery from the Hammers, and Javier Hernandez has his second of the afternoon. Really good delivery. Forster did really well to keep out the initial effort, but couldn't do anything about Hernandez on the rebound. 2-0 down, a man down, but a double from Hernandez makes it all square. Well, surely they didn't think they were going to be celebrating after the way the first half was panning out. Into the final minute. Redmond, bit of room, gonna have a go! Oh, for the second time this afternoon, Southampton hit the bar. Redmond given the room to chance his arm, got a deflection off Font. West Ham with everybody back behind the ball, as you'd expect. Ward-Prowse. Oh, it's a great ball in! And there was the chance for Yoshida, who was dragged down, and it's a penalty. Drama right at the death. Pablo Zabaleta cannot believe it, and all of West Ham's hard work may have disappeared in the final few seconds. It's a nudge in the back from the Argentine on Yoshida. Dusan Tadic has already scored a penalty today, but Charlie Austin is going to take this one. Joe Hart's trying to get into the Southampton players' ears. It's all getting a bit feisty. And Austin does score! A remarkable climax to what has been a thrilling afternoon. Huge pressure, but a cool finish from Austin. Southampton 3, West Ham United 2. Mauricio, how are you feeling after that? It was quite an afternoon.
Yeah, difficult game to analyze and to see. Nice game to see as a fan, but as a manager, to be a manager, difficult game, because I think we were better against 11 players than against 10. But the best thing for us, we got 3 points. We had to keep going. We had to learn from this game.
We conceded very cheap goal. The first one from the counter-attack, but we reacted really good, and we are very proud of the team.
What about the dismissal of Marko Arnautovic? What was going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, look, but I ain't going to talk about it. Of course, it's a big blow, because you have to play with 10 men for a big part of the game. And it's not easy, but as I said, the guys showed great character.
Just on the penalty itself, it looks as if there's a fair bit of gamesmanship going on. Did you have to keep your cool?
To be fair, I was going to go keeper's right. Then Nobe said to me, he knows where you're going, so I changed my mind right at the end. I rolled it on the other side, so it was well Andy, so thanks to him.
This is the English football, no? In 2 minutes, everything can change. The majority of the team got quality to create problems. You had to fight for every single point.
Today, 2 penalties, that must really get to you again.
Yeah, you're trying to make me talk about the penalties. I told you in the beginning that I ain't going to talk about it. I'm going to leave it to you and to your colleagues.
OK, I'm no doubt we'll discuss them. Jermaine, it was so close to a spectacular comeback from West Ham. 10 men, 2-0 down. But they came back. But most decisions went against them. But in many ways, they were perhaps architects of their own downfall.
That's exactly what they were. It was a weird game for Slaven Bilic and his side. They obviously the goals they conceded were poor. But he mentioned the character. He obviously had a word at half-time, and I think he can be obviously very proud of the performance they've put in since when they came out in the second half to get it back to 2-2. But yeah, you're right. Architects of their own downfall. It's as simple as that. And it was experienced players which would disappoint Slaven Bilic the most. You know, first incident we're going to see here is Mark Noble, very fortunate to get away with this challenge. It's a very naughty challenge on Lemina. The ball gets away from him. We saw, Gary Cahill get sent off or something similar, lunging into a tackle last week. That I'm not sure what Arnautovic is thinking here. He wants to put pressure onto Stevens. He's attacking him at pace. But when you see the replay, it's a correct decision first and foremost from Lee Mason. But why he throws his arm out so wide and into Stevens' neck? I mean, it
looks very violent.
He's
subsequently apologised on social media.
And rightly so.
The West Ham fans.
And rightly so. I mean, look at the impact on Stevens' neck. And obviously he's put his team in a seriously tough position at this point. And this is... Fonte is an experienced defender, and he's just getting too tight to Davis here. Davis is trying to turn. At that point, the ball's got away from Davis. He's got no chance of getting anywhere near it. Why Jose Fonte feels the need to pull on his neck at that point to cause the penalty. Again, another good decision from the referee. Tadic just about squeezes it in, but that's them 2-0 down now, down to 10 men. They're right up against it. They got themselves back into it at 2-2. And one of their new signings and one of the most experienced players in Zabaleta, trying to be too clever, I think. He understands Yoshida's in a great position. He's got a great opportunity to score, but he leans on him. And it's the right decision again. And Charlie Austin, as you mentioned...
Thanks to Mark Noble.
Thanks to Mark Noble. Changes his mind, and he loves those opportunities, Charlie Austin.
On the ref as well.
Getting
them right.
Exactly.
Definitely. And from Southampton's point of view...
how do you see that Southampton, different manager? Obviously, Claude Puel did well, but there's a thought that perhaps his foot was a bit dull, and it was important for them to start scoring a few goals.
Correct. I mean, 6 games at home without a goal, obviously stopped that today. And I think I did quite a lot of games at Southampton last year, and the fans weren't happy with the way that Claude Puel was playing, so it was important that Pellegrino got off to a good start at home, and that's exactly what he's done.
I suppose, apart from the comeback and the character of West Ham, the major positive was the form of Chicharito, Hernandez, Little P, call him whatever you want.
He's a super striker who gets all sorts of goals, and the type of fella you can rely on to get typical striker goals, I'd call them. A bit like yourself, Gary, back in the old days.
Well, he's scored 39 goals in the Premier League. All 39 have been inside the box.
No, I mean like headers over and like little tap-ins and stuff. He's got great movement, and in a game really where they could have been out of sight, he's brought them back into it. There was a lot of character shown from a lot of players, but this is the type of goal that's not an easy finish outside of his right foot. And the fact he'll gain confidence from those goals, even though they didn't get anything from the match, means that West Ham have a much better chance than finishing higher than did last season. Yeah. And just to mention the young teenager centre midfield, Declan Rice, he played really well today.
OK. Manchester United's win over West Ham last week was the biggest recorded on the opening day. Jose Mourinho's side faced Swansea, who failed to register a shot on target in a goalless draw at Southampton. Guy Mowbray was at the Liberty Stadium.
With Gylfi Sigurdsson gone and Fernando Llorente out injured, Swansea offered precious little at Southampton last weekend, and given Manchester United's attacking display against West Ham, most are giving the Swans precious little chance today. In the Premier League, though, those ideas can often be turned upside down. There are two Swansea team changes. Kyle Bartley comes in for Wayne Routledge, and that signifies a change to three at the back with wing-backs. And with Leon Britton ruled out by a back strain, there's a debut for Roque Mesa, signed from Las Palmas of Gran Canaria for a reported £11 million. He'll do well to settle as quickly as 75 million and the rest man, Romelu Lukaku, who scored twice on his Premier League debut for United last week, whilst fellow new signing Nemanja Matic was man of the match. They play again in an unchanged side named by Jose Mourinho. Before the start, Swansea are paying tribute to Gwilym Joseph, MBE, the club's honorary president, who has passed away aged 90, having served the club for half a century. Since they got into the Premier League, we've grown accustomed to a nice style of football being played by Swansea. I wonder whether today they'll have to be more of a pretty gritty city to get a result against Manchester United. Pogba. Swansea did really well. He made the triangle too tight. And now there might be something on. And it's over De Gea and it's off the bar, would you believe it? Tremendous work by Jordan Ayew. Jones heads away. Here comes Swansea again. Chance for Carl Norton to cross. Jones clears, but not decisively. He's going to come back with Roque Mesa. In fact, he goes back. And he sold Mawson short. And away goes Lukaku. Just lost control for a second there. He's got another chance now, though. And hits the shot well wide. 3 minutes played and we are off in Swansea. Jordan Ayew got a stroke of luck there. Eric Bailly's clearance straight against him. And he has a look to consider his options. Oh! David De Gea wasn't expecting that. Not many were. And almost straight away, Lukaku was away. Just that touch is where it broke down. Mawson was forcing him away from goal all the time too. Signs in how his team played last week and just how he's been in general over the last few weeks that Jose has his mojo back. Seems to happen when he's in his second season in charge of a club. Valencia. Rashford got past Mawson, he's going to have to again. And fouled this time, and that will only increase the amount of stick that Rashford's been getting right from the moment he first touched the ball. You're wondering why he's being booed. It's to do with the penalty that Manchester United got the last time these sides met at the end of April. Juan Mata has just held the ball aloft to give instruction to those into the middle. One would presume, therefore, especially with the hand signals, that it will be Mata. It is Mata, it's a great ball, and it's off the bar! Well, Phil Jones' last goal was March 2014. It was his header, and when the free kick came in, he was standing offside. The flag didn't go up, and perhaps because it didn't go in, there was no need to in the end. It actually was an awkward one off the shoulder in the end. Pogba. Well, he's going to be carded now, the first yellow of the game. It's suddenly got very lively in terms of tackles. It's been lively enough in terms of action right from the start. Now, Pogba is late. It's a really needless swipe on Tom Carroll.
Pogba. And Pogba's late into the tackle, having already been booked for a late tackle. And John Moss looks as though he's going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It is going to be last chance warning for Paul Pogba. It's one of those where you could almost bet your bottom dollar if he hadn't been booked, he would have been for that one. Most referees do officiate like that. Blint. Rashford in, and tamely into the gloves of Fabianski. What a chance for Marcus Rashford, who's been really bright. And that was a dull finish. Pogba, Valencia. Pogba. It's another beauty. No other option for Carl Norton, it had to go behind. It's a Blint ball in. It's Pogba! And it's in! Manchester United have the lead with half-time looming. Eric Bailly is claiming the ball and the credit for the goal. John Moss has just checked his watch to see if there was an indication that it had crossed the line. He'll let Eric Bailly know now. It's a super delivery, and Pogba's on his own. Fabianski did what he could with it, and it's not in there, and it's bouncing away from goal. It is one for Eric Bailly to celebrate. His first for Manchester United. If Swansea will change approach. They came out of the traps really going for it in the first half. I suppose they've got to now, but they don't want to leave themselves open. Pogba. Mawson, really good ball. Olsen, Carroll. Tom Carroll, Abraham. Couldn't get over the top of it. Maybe just came at him with a little too much pace. It was a very neat Swansea move. Well, Tammy Abraham's doing his best as the focal point in the middle, but they are missing Fernando Llorente, Swansea. Spanish World Cup winner who was the Swans' top scorer last season with 15 Premier League goals. He's recuperating from a broken arm sustained while cycling on holiday. Martial. Anthony Martial lets it go for Mkhitaryan. It's Lukaku! Lukaku for Manchester United is going to be something you hear a lot of this season. He's had a quietish game, but when the big chance arrived, he was in just the right place to gobble it up. This is only his third appearance for Manchester United. He already has 4 goals, and the 2 that the team has scored this afternoon should be enough to guarantee 3 points for the Red Devils. Mkhitaryan, what a run! Pogba lifts it over Fabianski to really seal the deal. Running away with it in the space of just over a minute. 1 has become 3. Driving run from Mkhitaryan. Pogba goes on at just the right time, at just the right pace, to be in just the right place. And it's an easy, lazy lift to make it Swansea 0, United 3. Job done for Jose. They will have a happy short flight back to Manchester this evening. Lukaku. Martial. Could be another 4-goal haul for United. Here's Martial. And Martial does make it 4. Running through at will. For the second game in a row, he comes off the bench to join in the goal-scoring fun. Making a point himself. He doesn't want to go anywhere, but it's also making a point to the rest of the league about the sort of strength and depth that United have. And the final score today will make this game look a lot more easy than it has been by and large for United. Swansea 0, United 4. 3 goals scored in 3 minutes 41 seconds.
happened with me so many times with my teams. You are winning 1-0, you are in trouble. You score the second goal, let's close the door and don't give a chance to the opponent. We scored the second goal and the feeling was we can score more. So no need to close the door. So just let the horses run freely, and they were magnificent.
You know, the difference, you know, between the start of the game and 79 minutes was one goal, and it was a set play. And then, you know, I'd made some changes tactically just before that, tried to get some more offensive players into the game because we want to try and create more and get back into it. But you know, we got in a mess defensively for the second goal in 18 minutes. I think it was a gift for them. Unfortunately, we gave the ball away in a couple of key areas and played into their strengths, which is, you know, they're so dangerous on the counter-attack. And we were punished.
The atmosphere, the environment in the team was amazing, but this year it's much better. I mean, it's not that something changed, but we became more close to each other. We became like very united, and I mean, yeah, maybe that's why our new signings, even they show that everything is good, and they are helping us from the first even game.
2 games, 8 goals, none conceded, 6 points. Jermaine, the horses are running freely, but you have one little nag.
Yeah, I do actually. Thanks for that. Look, you know, we all watched Manchester United last week. I thought they were outstanding. It was free-flowing football. The pattern of play, the movement was there for all to see. I just thought, you know, today it just wasn't as easy as the scoreline suggested. No. It really wasn't. You know, up to 80 minutes, although it felt like they was always going to win. You know, Swansea were there and causing them problems. It was just, he likes to play obviously with their wide players tucked in and very central, and that's great. If you're playing with like Lukaku, Mata, Rashford and Mkhitaryan all central, but you need to do it when obviously you've got Blind and Valencia as an option wide, and that's exactly how you do it. You didn't go wide that point. They tried to go through the centre of the pitch, which I found that they were doing on more, well, on a lot of occasions in the game. This time it's Juan Mata. The options in the centre of the pitch are there again. Look at what it's done to the back four of Swansea. They've had to come in narrow to close those gaps. So that's where the space is out wide again. I'm expecting Blind to be on his bike, on the way, you know, just getting into that space, giving them the opportunity to get behind that Swansea back four or back five. Didn't quite work out.
So he's never really encouraged his fullbacks to bomb on.
He hasn't, but I think in certain games like today, it was there and calling for it. Mkhitaryan this time, 2 great assists today. He's more than capable of picking out that run from Juan Mata. But look at the option on the right-hand side again. Where's Valencia? He tries to go through the middle, gets cut out. We eventually see Valencia in our picture there at right back. It comes to Pogba. He wants to go through the middle again. And it was just it was a common theme that I saw throughout the game. It's only 1-0 at this point. You know, I know they went on to win 4-0 and quite comfortably, and they're playing. You know, they're playing with real confidence. They're playing in tight areas. Rashford is absolutely sensational, and obviously got brought off. But the amount of times this happens, where they come into the middle, where Swansea was strongest, really, they've been 3 at the back, 3 in midfield, gets cleared out, and I just felt like against the better sides, they're going to need to find better options in those wide areas.
In the game, isn't it?
Correct, and I think, you know, against Swansea it's fine. West Ham, great, but
okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
Pogba scored in both games, seems to be settling in well this season. That's a real positive for United. That need one of their big stars to perform.
Well, end product, he can do everything. I'd hate to play against him, I have to say that. He's so strong, so powerful, he can sit in there and pass the ball about. But for me, the type of things he's doing today, I mean, this is the worst bit of him, petulance. Bit frustrated early on in the game, and rightly a yellow card for me. Just a silly kick out. Yellow's the right decision, but Swansea were obviously thinking maybe this could be a second, but it's not for me. It's a foul. Not every foul's a yellow, but what he brings you is this powerful presence in the opposition box as well. It's a super header. Very hard to pick up. In fact, United have got a huge team on set plays, but this is what I think he's going to be best at. Getting forward, using his athleticism, using his power. And can he finish?
Delicious finish.
Beautiful. He's got all the tools he needs to be scoring a lot more goals than he has done previously.
And if he'd be released a bit more now, would he, with Matic there as well?
Exactly, which is a really good point. And great legs around him as well, so it's not just about picking up Pogba. I mean, look at him bursting. Late in the game, this is nice and fit and strong. Can he make the right decision? Yep, simple pass to Martial. And then another great sub to come off the bench. 4-0. 4-0. a little bit harsh on Swansea.
Yeah, harsh on Swansea.
That's what you can do. The power they've got.
Yeah.
Late in games, they're going to steamroll the teams.
OK. Stoke's first home game of the season saw them host an Arsenal side who left it late to beat Leicester last weekend. It's 8 years since Arsene Wenger's team won their opening 2 league games. Steve Bauer was at the Bet365 Stadium.
Mark Hughes gives an instant full debut to this week's loan signing, Hesse, the 24-year-old who once cost Paris Saint-Germain £21 million from Real Madrid, finished last season on loan at Las Palmas. Maxim Choupo-Moting also makes his first Stoke start. It took just 94 seconds and 2 touches for Alexandre Lacazette to make his Arsenal mark. Now the club record signing bids to become the first Gunners player to score in his first 2 Premier League appearances for the club. Hughes' team trying to beat one of the big boys. They didn't beat any of the top 6 home or away last season. They only took 3 points from 36 against last season's top 6. Fletcher on his home debut. He's got options and one of them is Hesse. Can he make an instant impact? Hesse! Denied by Petr Cech. Not quite the fairy tale entrance onto the Stoke stage, but it was a positive one from the 24-year-old. He has a point to prove, and he wants to prove it in the Premier League. He managed 2 goals in 14 appearances for PSG. Hesse, frustrating time for him after his move from his boyhood club Real Madrid, where he'd been since the age of 14. Ozil getting on the ball. Welbeck. Fouled by Zuma. No need to debate that one, right in front of Andre Mariner. Quickly taken by Ozil to Bellerin. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Good movement from Welbeck. Kept out by Butland. And then cleared by Juve. Excellent football from Arsenal. Bellerin. Ramsey in ahead of Hesse. There goes Oxlade-Chamberlain again. And he's still going. And he's got it back. He's looking for Bellerin once more. It was untidy from Juve. Arsenal get a corner. They did want a little bit more. Bellerin's got forward well on the left-hand side. And there were Arsenal appeals here. Juve from that angle. As though he might have caught Bellerin. Xhaka to take the corner. Off the head of Shawcross. Oxlade-Chamberlain drilled that at pace. Now there could be a Stoke break on. Hesse. Shaqiri had to stay onside. Hesse still going. And still. Choupo-Moting wants to pull back. Here he is! And he couldn't generate any power. And Mark Hughes knows the talent that Hesse has. For whatever reason, he hasn't been able to show it in recent times. There's 4 Arsenal defenders there. It was slightly behind Choupo-Moting in his defence. And he couldn't extend check. Ramsey. It's an Arsenal free kick. Clipped in by Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oh, and there was a free runner. Ramsey, brilliant from Butland. Well, he saved Stoke there. Just watch Ramsey. Nobody goes anywhere near him. And he did really well to get there. But Butland, big and brave and hugely effective. Fletcher. Xhaka. Too strong for Ozil. Hesse. Berahino. Hesse goes again! Oh, what a moment for the new boy! Only arrived in the country this week on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, and on his debut, he scores Stoke's first goal of the season to give them the lead. Less than 2 minutes into the second half. He picked it up there. Berahino played his part and Hesse did the rest. He's had a frustrating time in the last 12 months, the 24-year-old. But what a start to life in the Premier League with Stoke City. And what a start to the second half. That's what he got him for. Stoke 1, Arsenal 0. Ozil, drop of the shoulder to get away from Fletcher. Bellerin's in. Bellerin's got an opportunity, and Butland held it in the nick of time. All created by Ozil. Well-timed run from Bellerin on his right foot. Doesn't get out of the dugout much away at Stoke, for obvious reasons. This is set up now like your proverbial training match, attackers against defenders. Too intricate from Lacazette, mopped up by Fletcher. Peters. Berahino wants it early. That's who he's aiming for! And it needed Czech's intervention. Well, Berahino pointed to where he wanted it. Peters duly delivered it. And Petr Cech needed to watch that all the way. Ozil. John looking for some movement ahead of him. Here's Giroud's first touch. It's a telling one in towards Danny Welbeck, who's kept out by Butland, who continues to defy Arsenal in the Stoke goal. Welbeck just couldn't get himself in a situation where he could get any power, and he just poked it really in the end. Monreal. Arsenal looking for Mesut Ozil wherever possible. Welbeck. Giroud's flick. Lacazette offside. Won't count. Clinical finish, you have to say. But Simon Beck, the referee's assistant, raised the flag straight away. Giroud involved, oh my word. That is a tight, big call. Might just be his right foot. It's a very good spot from the assistant if he thinks that. He has not lost his opening away fixture in the last 8 Premier League seasons. Ramadan with Oxlade-Chamberlain. Arsenal furious, there's no foul. Peters goes on. And no foul there either by Mustafi. Mark Hughes is livid. The referee, from that view, stated that Mustafi got the ball. And more the follow-through that caught the Dutchman. Certainly outside the area anyway. Mark Hughes livid. Less than 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Ozil. In from Monreal. There's the header from Giroud. And he can't steer it on target. It's the first chance he's had since his introduction. And it looks as though it isn't going to be Arsenal's day.
How excited are you by Hesse's arrival and the way he's hit the ground running today?
Well, when you think about it, he's only, I think he has 2-3 training sessions with the group. So if that's what's to come, then I think we'll all be delighted.
We were unlucky because I think we scored a regular goal that was given offside and was not offside, and I believe defensively we have no real excuse. We knew at half time that it was very important not to make a mistake at the back, and we gave them straight away a cheap goal.
I must ask you about Arsenal at home, because there seems to be a different thing in the air. 7 out of the last 8 seasons you haven't lost to them here. Yeah,
well, I think they were ready for it today. I think there was too much criticism of everything that's involved with Stoke City, wrongly in my view. I think the crowd just wanted to make a statement along with the team. I think they were fed up of it, and they just wanted to get behind their team today.
Well, only one place to start really, Danny. A fabulous debutante performance, so your essay must be on Hesse.
He was, considering he's only just got to the club, I thought it was a magnificent performance, and he gave them a bit of quality that we've seen rarely actually in recent times. Nice and confident early on. Good save there from Cech, and he played off the left-hand side, and it gave him a bit more freedom. He played with his back to goal all the time, but you can see the little bits of awareness. educating himself at Madrid all those years. He's obviously going to have quality, but here maybe you could argue pass it there, but he thinks he's offside. But watch this for a determined run. Someone who's comfortable and confident on the ball. Yeah, a bit of luck along the way, but he was causing them problems. And Bojan on the bench and Natovic is left. You kind of think, well, is it another risk, if you like? But today, I mean, that was beautiful. Saw him come in, and that's the type of player I think Stoke fans will really want to watch play, because it's not just tricks and flicks, it's with end product as well. Starts to move himself for the goal, changes his angle of his run, and on his so-called weaker foot, it capped a brilliant display for him, and for Mark Hughes and Stoke City, long may that continue.
Yeah, no, Arsene Wenger wasn't happy with one or two decisions. Your verdict, Jermaine?
I have to agree. I thought there was more than a few decisions actually that went against Arsenal.
It's hard for you to say.
It really, yeah. I don't know how I got it out, but yeah. Look, this is a great ball from Oxlade-Chamberlain. But do you have slips? Now, regardless of whether he slips or not, it's a foul.
Yeah, that's the dad.
It's as clear as day. This is a foul. I mean, you see the contact here, left shin, contacts with Bellerin's left shin. You see his foot even go out as we run it on, and that's contact. That's a penalty. Bellerin goes down. Nothing was given.
He was stumbling as he went down. I think that's why the ref didn't give it, but it was a pen.
It was a penalty. Even with this one, I think Zuma, and I think it's Diouf again who's involved. If you look at Zuma's left leg there, kicks the back of Danny Welbeck's right leg. Clumsy again. It forces Danny Welbeck, when he goes for the shot, to drag his foot against the floor. I mean, that's an opportunity missed. That's another penalty which they should have had. This is the goal now.
Marginal, this one.
I mean, I honestly think the referee, I mean, the linesman must have just got very lucky here, because how he spotted the fact that his toe is offside, I don't know.
Well, you can't criticise the linesman for being right.
He's got it right. He's got it right. He's got it right, and that is the end of it. Yeah. But you can understand why Arsene Wenger would be slightly upset.
Great finish.
I think for Arsene Wenger, it's when you get 3-4 instances in one game,
row.
you feel hard done by.
Yeah.
You know, this is the last one. Again, it's Diouf. I don't know. I mean, he's playing him in defensive areas, but he doesn't half lunge in. You just see this here. And what's the old classic we've been talking about? Got to go down if you want to get a penalty. Stays on his feet. No chance for pen.
It's a serious point, though. You know, at that point there, you're saying he has to. It's not dive, but he's got to go down. There is contact. He has to go down, and at that point, they get the penalty and get themselves back.
Or give a penalty for being honest.
Yeah.
But it's hard for the referees.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It's the catch-22.
Yeah, indeed. 4 games still to come.
Well, that's a good save by Schmeichel.
And it dropped there for a Phobe.
Benteke! Oh, what a chance for Crystal Palace.
Burnley were the headline act on the opening weekend with a 3-2 win at champions Chelsea. Opponents West Brom also kicked off with a victory over Bournemouth. Martin Fisher was at Turf Moor.
Sam Vokes ended last season with 5 goals in 5 games. His brace last week in the win at Stamford Bridge got him off the mark nice and quickly this term too. His place up front might come under threat though soon, with reports of a £15 million price tag being agreed with Leeds United for Chris Wood. Jay Rodriguez started his career here, 41 goals in 5 years. Burnley born, his whole family is here this afternoon. Albion give a debut to Gareth Barry, signed from Everton on Wednesday. Premier League appearance, 629 for him. It's one of the oldest fixtures in the book. These clubs first met in 1888 in the very first season of the Football League. Albion won that day and have held sway in the 128 games that have followed. Got space here for Jack Cork. Albion caught napping. And here's Hendrick to hit it. Wasn't that far wide, Jeff Hendrick. Well, it was poor defensive work here from Albion. Firstly to leave Jack Cork in loads of room, and then to leave Hendrick with similar space. Burnley ever so strong here last season, of course. 10 of their 11 wins came here at Turf Moor. Vokes down for Gudmundsson. Gudmundsson's curler! Oh, just for a moment there, Ben Foster was scrambling to his right. Gudmundsson onto his left foot. Not far away here from scoring his first Premier League goal since last November. The last two meetings here have finished all square at 2 apiece. That's 16 goals in the 4 Premier League meetings between these sides. Hendrick votes for Brady. Fields after him. Brady has got clear. Chance to cross here. Up goes Gudmundsson, and this time forces a save out of Ben Foster. It might well have been heading wide anyway, but Foster was across to keep it out, just in case. Cleared by Ward, but only as far as Jake Livermore, who's then scythed to the ground. Clumsy challenge from Ward, completely mistimed, and it could spell trouble for Burnley. This one is going to be taken by Matty Phillips. Good delivery though, and it was Dawson who got his head to it. That would have been Ben Mee who got there ahead of Dawson. So far, Burnley have been very resolute, very disciplined in defending these set pieces. They need to stay focused though. Phillips' delivery, wonderful ball, and Dawson did get the final touch there. Just steers it over the bar. Burnley looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since 1973 in the top flight. Early ball forward from Tarkowski, which actually finds Gudmundsson. Floating. Here's Defoe. Vokes waits in the centre. Came off Hagazi, and I doubt he's going to be able to prevent that from going behind for the corner. Brady with this corner kick. Tarkowski going towards the near post. The cross is deep, and Mee with the header, and he just couldn't control it. Wonderful delivery from Robbie Brady. Mee at full stretch, gaping net ahead of him, just couldn't control it. Robson-Kanu, he's got away from Ward and away from Tarkowski, and Robson-Kanu scores. Brought off the bench, Hal Robson-Kanu breaks the deadlock at Turf Moor, and Tom Heaton's defence just melted in front of him, and it's a very assured finish from the Welsh international to beat Tom Heaton. Albion on course for back-to-back wins at the start of the season in the top flight for the first time since 1978. Just wobbling a bit at the moment, Burnley. Here's Rodriguez for West Brom. Robson-Kanu again. Almost got his second and West Brom's second of the day. When they hit the heights last week in West London, Burnley, they've come crashing down today. Albion have done a job on them. Floated towards Vokes. Barry got his head to it. Ward got in there. Barnes with the shot. Well, had to snatch at it there, Ashley Barnes, on the turn. Couldn't control the effort. But real pressure now on the Albion rear guard with Walters, Vokes and Barnes in the middle. Ward was up there as well there. Oh, that looked like an elbow by Hal Robson-Kanu. Now, which card is the referee reaching for? It's the red. Oh, what a bittersweet afternoon it has been for Hal Robson-Kanu. Came off the bench to score Albion's goal, and now he's off. He will claim that his eyes were on the ball. Certainly didn't appear to look at the player as he leant for the ball. It's clumsy, and it's a straight red for Hal Robson-Kanu. First part of last season, Burnley were so strong at home, but just one win here since January. Still some work to do. Hendrick with the cross. Walters with a header, and he's over. What a chance for John Walters to get his first Burnley goal against his former manager at Stoke. Couldn't quite pull it off.
It's a tough one today because you're not happy with the result, but you're actually really happy with the performance. And I was last week at Chelsea, and you know, I said to the lads that we're laying down some good markers at the moment for where we want to be and how we're progressing and what we want to grow into. And I thought there was good signs of that today. And barring a really poor goal from a kind of hoof up the pitch and a bit of mayhem, barring that, I thought we were very good and we were good value to get something from the game.
As a Burnley-born lad, what's it like coming back and facing your hometown club? Yeah, it is. It's a strange game at times, but it's you just got to get your head in the game and think about what you got to do for the team. And like I said, the 3 points are the most important thing. But no, it was nice to be back.
What was your assessment of that red card? It was a very eventful afternoon for him, getting the winner and then getting sent off.
Obviously, I don't want to say things that would get me in trouble, so I'd like to have a look at it first. Martin thought it was a red card, so the decision stands. We just had to get on with it, and I'm so pleased that we got through that final 15 minutes, with 10 men, and the 3 points, as you say, was fantastic for us.
2 wins for West Brom, both 1-0. That's the first time that West Brom have won their opening 2 fixtures in the top flight since the year after you were born, Danny. 1978, and 5 years before you were born, and a couple of years after I was born. But there you go. But mixed day for Robson Hal-Kanu, wasn't it? Hal Robson-Kanu even.
Yes,
juggle those round somehow, get it right.
Well, first and foremost, let's deal with what was a terrific goal, because... Yeah. Since he's been there, he hasn't scored too many, but strong lad, come on the pitch. And would you believe, actually, it's the first shot on target in the whole game, 71 minutes, so it wasn't a classic. Good strength, and on his weaker foot, that's a super finish, so well done to him. And I think that Pulis and West Brom deserve great credit for always being so hard to beat and well organised. That doesn't come easily. Whoever comes in and out, they're always so difficult to play against. I think he's unlucky. I disagree with Sean Dyche here. He doesn't actually take the arm away to then hit him with it. He's just leading with it. And you'll see it from another angle, hopefully, now in a second. I don't think it's a red card. I think he's been too hasty with that.
It's
just hanging there.
Close,
it's not a typical take your arm back and then whack. He's just... Even his forearm, really.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
really do.
Tough on him.
He's not throwing it. We saw Arnautovic's one earlier, and he's not.
Referees get obsessed with it early in the season.
Yeah. Johnny Evans injured. Looks like might go to Manchester City. Would that'd be a blow to West Brom, wouldn't it?
I think it'd be a huge blow.
Need the money.
It'd be a huge blow for West Brom. I think he's been a big part of how solid they actually are. But from Man City's point of view, I think it's good business. I really do. Good football.
And Burnley, not their best day today, was it? They didn't really create too many chances.
No, they're never free flowing, but they weren't at the best. And but that's more credit to West Brom.
Okay.
Kilban in towards Vaughan. Everton have a new teenage striking sensation. His name is James Vaughan.
Sheringham, surely. It's in. Teddy Sheringham. The wise old campaigner has got West Ham back in the game with 10 minutes to go.
Two sides now who both lost on the opening weekend. Leicester went down in a 7-goal thriller at Arsenal, while Brighton were beaten 2-0 by Manchester City. Watching this one at the King Power Stadium was Steve Wilson.
Clappers, flags, flames, and a fantastic Foxes din. The King Power at its best. And Jamie Vardy looked at his best against Arsenal last week with 2 well-taken goals. That will spell trouble for any defence. As Matty James finally puts injury behind him to start his first home game for Leicester since May 2015. Glenn Murray adds some Premier League experience to Brighton's 11. He's in for Tomer Hemed today. New signing Jose Izquierdo is not ready to be involved. And former Leicester man Anthony Knockaert is still on Brighton's bench. So Lee Probert is the man in charge, and Leicester City, all in blue, get the game underway, kicking from right to left against Brighton and Hove Albion in predominantly yellow. So Mahrez dispossessed. Murray. That's what worked. Simpson got back pretty quickly, but Brighton are threatening here. Murray's arriving in the middle. Solly March is at the back post as well. Murphy's attempt for the cross was blocked. And here's Mahrez. Oh, good feet. Mahrez cuts inside, and Okazaki scores. Less than a minute played. Riyad Mahrez with the magic. Brilliant stuff from Mahrez. This is why Roma keep bidding and bidding for him. Matt Ryan will be disappointed he didn't hold the shot because he spilled it straight onto Okazaki's foot.
Well, the worst possible start for Chris Hughton. He's making the point before the game that Leicester away is really no easier than their opening day of the season against Manchester City. Ross has given it to Mahrez. Mahrez to Ndidi. Well covered. Marcus Suttner.
Oh, Suttner's made a mistake. Okazaki onto it. Jamie Vardy, first block, second missed kick, and then stabbed away to Mahrez. And the referee, Lee Probert, has given a free kick for offside. Well, this could so easily have been 2-0. Suttner's mistake, Okazaki onto it. First one's blocked, then a complete missed kick, and then as Okazaki comes back to get involved, he's coming back from an offside position.
Stevens towards Glenn Murray, nicely done. Murphy's shot, well blocked by Morgan. They're appealing for handball. Lee Probert's not interested. Maguire will clear here for Leicester. Well, he should have done. That was good centre-forward play by Murray, touching it down invitingly for Murphy, who hit it well enough. Well, you know, Wes Morgan has moved his left arm. It might be tucked behind his back, but he's moved that upper arm towards the ball as it came towards him. Lee Probert wasn't remotely interested. Dunk, taken away by Okazaki, is Vardy.
Into Okazaki! It's a great bit of vision from Jamie Vardy, and Okazaki's really close here to making it 2. Look at Vardy here, he didn't seem to have anywhere to go, but he has a little look and anticipates, and so does Okazaki.
Here's Fuchs. March forcing Christian Fuchs to go back to Maguire. Bruno on Albrighton, free kick to Leicester. He's came through the back of him really, Bruno. This is training ground, it's Albrighton. It's dangerous actually, Lewis Dunk has put it behind for the corner.
Mahrez with the delivery, some pace on that, and it's found its way in. Harry Maguire claims it. Well, the new man signed from Hull City, Harry Maguire, attacking it at the back post, and Leicester 2, Brighton 0. Looks a tall order for the visitors.
Young and old, finding it difficult to watch this. Tony Bloom, the head man.
Oh, that's a good save by Schmeichel, though. Well hit by Hemed. Well, it's a shot on target, and it's something for Schmeichel to stretch for, and he hasn't had much to do. Albrighton trying to get the better of Bruno. Mahrez! Good block by Dunk. Did well here, Lewis Dunk. Talk back to Mahrez in all kinds of space. Fourth official, Craig Pawson, has indicated 4 added minutes. Mahrez loops it over the top to Slimani. Vardy is in the middle. And Vardy and Ryan come together, and the decision is a corner. If you threw him a stick, Vardy would chase it. Vardy's down here for Leicester. Shake of the head from the England man here, and Riyad Mahrez looking concerned, as are a lot of Leicester City fans. And this is where he came in with Matt Ryan. I can only assume that that is where Vardy hurt himself. He seemed to pick himself up okay from that. Well, that is a worry, and it's rather put a blot on what otherwise has been a very good day for Leicester City.
It was important to get the first 3 points of the season. You know, a lot of pressure when you're at home. You have to have a good home record. We're playing against a team that's come up and the momentum there. But it didn't feel as comfortable as probably they all suggest. But as I said, it's nice to get the 3 points.
Timing of the 2 goals were very sort of detrimental to our play, particularly the first one. It's a learning curve for us, and you know, we've had 2 tough games, one against a very big team at home and against a very good side away from home, and we'll certainly need to be better next game.
We didn't let them have many chances. I think they had a couple of shots from the edge of the box, but nothing clinical. And no, it's a team effort today, from strikers to the defenders. Clean sheets come through the team, and we've got that today. And if we keep many more clean sheets from now to the end of the season, we'll win games.
Now, I must say, I was chuffed when Leicester signed Harry Maguire. I liked him a lot at Hull, but I like him even more at Leicester. Good signing, I think. Was it 15 million?
£15 million. You know, I've seen a lot of signings this summer, and Leicester have definitely got one of the best. You know, in terms of value for money, great with his feet. He's almost like a midfielder at times. The thing I enjoyed about him most today, watching him, is how he does this. The way and how comfortable he is driving forward into the space, and you know, he's got plenty of pressure on him there, and he just finds a beautiful pass out to Morris. How's your touch? For a centre half, I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of just go, oh well, it's nothing. But that is, you know, he's as light on his toes as they come. He's always on the front foot, was winning the ball, constantly putting Leicester on the front foot. Also, yes, he can get aggressive. You know, he's a big lad as well, slightly too aggressive there, but wins the ball, and again driving forward into that midfield area, finding a beautiful weight of pass for Jamie Vardy, who's going to thoroughly enjoy playing with this lad. And even little special moments like this, can he go by people? I mean, he's so nimble. And he topped off what an unbelievable display was for him today with his first goal. It was
that was in a 4 as well.
Yeah,
he played a lot last season in a 3 where you can go out because you've got 2 covering you.
Yeah, no, encouraging. I guess the other plus, or possibly a plus, it depends which way you look at it, is the performance of Mahrez, who was excellent today. But he's one of those players that's been linked with a move. A lot of speculation, probably Roma have made a couple of bids, but he's not been injured. He's carried on, he's showed good attitude.
He showed a refreshing attitude, and I say this risking criticism, but he's kind of too good for Leicester now.
No.
He is. He's playing so well, with such confidence. He has such skill and such creative ability. He needs a bigger stage, and he needs to play with better players to see how good he really can become. And of course, he's had a fairy tale at Leicester, and they've done tremendously well and given him the platform. But this, I mean, he's somebody who should be playing regularly in the Champions League and showing us his talents. And you agree deep down.
I think the refreshing part,
we can fall out, you know.
The refreshing part is his attitude.
Yeah.
You know, his return from pre-season, he's obviously showing the right attitude, and he's playing well for his team.
Okay. After losing at West Brom, Bournemouth were back on home turf for the visit of Watford, who opened up with a 3-3 draw against Liverpool. All 4 top-flight meetings between these 2 teams have ended in a draw. John Roeder was at the Vitality Stadium.
Norwegian international Josh King scored in both 2-2 draws against Watford last season, on his way to gathering 16 goals for the campaign. Bournemouth searching for their first goal of this season, bring in Jordan Ibe to boost their attacking options. Eddie Howe says Ibe was excellent in pre-season. Record signing Andre Gray makes his first start for Watford, as does the Brazilian Richarlison. Both came on as substitutes in last weekend's event-filled draw against Liverpool. Marco Silva's first victory as Hull manager came against Eddie Howe's Bournemouth. Will his first win in charge at Watford come against the same opponents? Decore. Gomez with the clearance, straight to Sermon. Here's Arta. Lively pace about the opening exchanges in this match. Here's King. Fraser wants the little pullback. Fraser gets it across, and it dropped there for a Afobe, and deflected over for a corner kick. Watford in a bit of trouble at the back. Plenty of attacking options for Marco Silva. He's got Stefano Akaka on the bench, and a welcome return for Troy Deeney as well amongst the Watford substitutes, the captain. Cook. Here's Arta. Cook's long ball forward. Afobe on the chase, he's got him behind the defender. Afobe pushed wide by Aurelio Gomez. It was a tight angle here for Afobe. Gomez having to palm it behind. Cleverly. Amrabat cleverly has continued his run forward, and here he is. Gray and Richarlison in the middle, half away by Ake. Richarlison. Oh, he's found a way through. Gray! Scoops it over from close range, and it is the final chance of this first half. Bournemouth mightily relieved as the half-time whistle blows. It remains 0-0. Here's King. Chase on here for Fraser. Gets there first ahead of Britos. Fraser's ball in. Afobe arriving late, just turned away by Prodel. And it's a Bournemouth corner. Plenty forward for the Cherries. Cook rising. Gomez makes the save. Steve Cook with the touch that was heading goalwards. Well, they may well have just rolled off the back of Britos. Here's Cleverly. In towards Amrabat, who's got him behind the Bournemouth defence. This is Chalobah. Oh, he left it. But why? Bournemouth able to clear through Harry Arter. That was extraordinary. Did Arter say anything to cause Chalobah to not make an attempt on goal? Away by Flaminia. Ake. Robbed by Chalobah, Nathaniel Chalobah, bearing down on goal now for Watford. Begovic to beat, and Begovic makes the save. Golden chance for the Golden Boys. Begovic able to block the attempt from Chalobah. Lovely turn from Mark Pugh. Can't follow it up with a measured pass though. And here come Watford. It's 3 against 3. Andre Gray. Richarlison in the middle, it's towards Richarlison! Richarlison with the touch, and Watford are in front! The Brazilian under-20 international is off and running for the Hornets. He's been more and more involved as this match has progressed. And Watford breaking quickly here. The two summer signings, Andre Gray with the ball into the middle. And although the first attempt was blocked, Richarlison able to stab home at the second attempt. Begovic and Smith were both stranded, and Watford lead. Pugh keeps the ball in play towards Defoe. King! Terrific chance for Bournemouth to draw level. And it owed everything here to the persistence of Mark Pugh. King unable to guide his header downwards and goalwards. Corner. Pugh cleverly into the path of Andre Gray. It's a tight angle. Begovic able to kick it away. But just for a moment there was a little bit of uncertainty at the back. Capoue! That surely seals it for Watford. Etienne Capoue on as a substitute with a terrific strike to make it 2-0. Headed away by Cook. Clearance only as far as Capoue. And how about that? One touch to control, one touch to fire it past Begovic. Bournemouth 0, Watford 2.
Congrats for our players, very, very good. What we prepared for the match, I did everything like I want. And we show you character again, very, very good attitude. In some moments, very good football.
I thought we were very disappointing, to be honest. Scratching my head as to why, because I was expecting a really good performance today and like the team that I picked, but that didn't, that didn't materialise. So we're hugely disappointed.
It looked as though you and Richarlison putting up a nice partnership already. Is that the way you see it?
Yeah, hopefully it can continue. Seems to be on the same wavelength today. He's a very attack-minded player and seems to have the pace to get in behind as well. So hopefully we can keep causing people problems and win some more games.
Well, good start for Marco Silva. 4 points, 5 goals in 2 games. Not bad. Looking good going forward.
Well, I think that's the point. There was a lot of discontent, wasn't there, in the type of football they was watching the second half of the season, especially. And there seems to be a change in tactics, if you like. They've got great pace in the side now, good options. We saw Gray today and Richarlison linking up really well. Both quick, both like running in behind, causing problems, really hard to play against. And then on the bench, of course, you've got Akaka, who started the season brightly, and then Deeney. So there seems to be in the last 2 games more emphasis on getting men in the box. 3 goals at home to Liverpool, of course, and then today actually they had a lot of chances. Could have scored more, and they looked really dynamic. I think Richarlison, who was refreshing to me, didn't know too much about him, wanted to take people on, got his rewards with the goal there, and really healthy start.
Yeah. Certainly is. Interesting moment there as well in the game when Chalobah seemingly, well, inexplicably really, let the ball go, but we think we might have an explanation.
Yeah, well,
look, here you go.
We can have a little bit of a laugh about it now because they won 2-0, obviously, but, you know, I'm pretty sure you can see here that Harry Arter screams, leave it, basically, it's mine.
We've done it.
Now,
it actually should be a foul, you know.
Correct, yeah it should be a foul, but and I think you can see Chalobah's reaction there. He's not entirely happy about it, but you can see the funny side of it, the 2-0 now.
Certainly can. Well, a tough start for Bournemouth, and the next 2 games are Manchester City and Arsenal as well. Crystal Palace travelled to Liverpool looking for a 4th straight league win at Anfield, a feat that's not been achieved by any club since Arsenal back in 1935. Commentary comes from Simon Brotherton.
It's all changed for Liverpool with Wednesday's Champions League playoff against Hoffenheim looming large. Daniel Sturridge and James Milner start for the first time this season, as do new signing Andrew Robertson, Joe Gomez and Ragnar Klavan, who all come in at the back. Crystal Palace are without both Wilfried Zaha and Jairo Riedewald through injury, with Andros Townsend and James Tompkins replacing them. Matip. A through ball there towards Wijnaldum, surging forward. A poor clearance by Wayne Hennessy, but it's lucky that Jason Punchin and then Milivojevic were able to get the ball away. Now Sturridge once more, the little pass forward now. Milner drilling that shot in low and hard. Straight into the gloves of the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Nice play from Liverpool on the near side. I'm sure it's been a very intense week on the training pitches for Frank de Boer and the Crystal Palace players. Here's Robertson, makes the pass, continues his run. Nice idea from Firmino. Among those in the crowd, England manager Gareth Southgate, sitting there alongside former Liverpool manager Gerard Houllier. Wijnaldum there was clearly held by Joel Ward. A straightforward decision for Kevin Friend there, and Liverpool keen to get on with the game. Milner, Robertson with a chance to put the delivery into the penalty area, and Hennessy didn't get there, and somehow the ball doesn't end up in the back of the net off the head of Joel Matip. Well, Matip's only ever scored 1 goal for Liverpool. It came against Crystal Palace last season, and he looked odds on to score another one there. Henderson makes a run up towards the edge of the penalty area, a little bit of room for Firmino. Sturridge, lovely turn, brilliant skill. All that was missing there was the finish. Razor sharp close control from Daniel Sturridge to create the shooting opportunity. It's all Liverpool, but can they show a bit more incisiveness in that final third and force the breakthrough? Robertson getting forward once more. There's been plenty of that from him, and at full stretch, Dan puts it behind for a corner. Liverpool's first corner of the game. And here's Robertson now. Milner wanted the ball back. Robertson's cross, met at the far post by Mane, who can't turn it home. Again, Robertson causing problems with his deliveries from the left-hand side. Joe Gomez. Past Milivojevic, away from Punchin. Finding Roberto Firmino, brings the save from Hennessy, who parries it away. Milner can't get the follow-up. Fosu Mensah made sure that he couldn't, and Townsend will now bring it clear over the halfway line. Neatly done, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Benteke ahead of him. Jason Punchin's there as well. Punchin brings the save from Mignolet. And suddenly the match springs to life with action at both ends of the pitch. Liverpool forcing Wayne Hennessy into a save. This shot from Roberto Firmino, and then from the other end of the pitch, moments later, this save from Simon Mignolet to deny Jason Punchin. Well, both teams have scored in the last 10 meetings between the clubs, averaging 3.9 goals a game. Still waiting for a first one here today. Fosu Mensah up to Loftus-Cheek. Good play by Loftus-Cheek, he's done really well. Benteke! Oh, what a chance for Crystal Palace. Super play by Ruben Loftus-Cheek, big, strong and powerful, and Christian Benteke unable to take advantage. Salah up against James Tompkins. He's got the pace to really test him. Tompkins just got a nudge on the ball to hold him up. Still Salah. Into Sadio Mane. That's a lovely turn. Scott Dan careful not to dive in. The block falls to Ronaldo. Blocked by Van Aanholt. A real scramble, and in the end it's an easy save from Sadio Mane. Was there a rare flurry of excitement in the Crystal Palace penalty area? Don't see that many goal-mouth scrambles like that. This is James Milner, now Sadio Mane. Dominic Solanke through the centre. Doesn't quite reach here, Milivojevic in trouble, Mane was there to pounce on the error. Liverpool lead with 18 minutes to go. And Sadio Mane scores for the second week running in the new season. Mane combining with Robertson there, and Milivojevic with a bobble and a ricochet, which fell in the path of Mane, who continued his opportunistic run into the penalty area. Liverpool ahead. Salah, Solanke, block made by Fosu Mensah. Here's Firmino, denied by Schlupp, falls kindly for Robertson, good save. Well, that would have capped off a fine Premier League debut for Liverpool for Andrew Robertson there. And Wayne Hennessy tipping it over the crossbar.
I love the goal we scored because it was not our best 1-2 in the whole game. Actually, the ball was pretty much away, and then Dom Solanke puts his foot in and can win the ball back, and Sadio is there, is awake enough, and he's a striker, so he scores goals, and for this you need to have the nose a little bit for these moments.
You know, the gaffer obviously made a few changes with the Champions League and the Watford game, so some of the boys got a rest, but you know, our squad's good, and we think that anyone that can come in can compete for the place, and we're no weaker, and I think we proved that today. At times it was difficult, but it was all about getting the 3 points, and we managed to get that.
You know you're not going to get many chances when you come to Anfield, but Christian Benteke had a good one, didn't he, at the start of the second half?
Yeah, I think it was around 60 minutes or something like that we had a very good chance to come up front. Yeah, you know, you don't get that many, what you already said, so we have to punish them at that moment, and of course he wanted to score, but unluckily for us he didn't.
Missing a player like Phil Coutinho is not good for nobody, but in this moment not to change, and but that's like everything else, nothing changed since then. It's a club decision, again, not mine. It's not important what I would say about it. I cannot make this decision, so it's a club decision. They did it, and in this moment Phil is not available for us. That's all what I can say.
What do you think, Danny? Coutinho outgrown Liverpool, your club, has he? Do you think?
No.
On another point, another former Hull man made a big impression, didn't he? Andrew Robertson at fullback.
Well, I have to say, I was maybe hoping to go for a really big name at left back, and this lad today had a debut that I remember for a long, long time. His level is his crossing was just fantastic. I remember one bad one that he hit. The rest of them were all on the money. Liverpool should have been ahead. All their joy was coming down the left side. He actually had more touches than anyone else on the pitch, which for a left-back says a lot to me. Confident, got in these areas and just kept producing good quality. Now, OK, we're going to see over the season defensively what he's like, as we saw last year. Sometimes he got a bit isolated at Hull and struggled, but going forward, as good as I've seen, and made run after run after run, and in the second half didn't stop. He kept trying to get in it. What I liked actually, his runs weren't always on the outside. I remember Everett United used to do lots of runs inside. He was doing that as well, mixing his game up lovely, and nearly topped it off with a wonder strike, but very promising signs for Robertson.
I'm wondering how Hull went down.
I know.
at the moment. It's interesting, the Klopp rotation thing, isn't it? He made 5 changes from the side that won in the Champions League in the week. It nearly backfired. Yeah,
but it really did. No, it really did. The result was obviously huge for him, but look, he's going to have to rotate the team throughout the season. It's as simple as that. It worked today.
And Crystal Palace, signs of improvement.
Well balanced today, had a real go, made some chances, could have gone a goal up, and Benteke missed a sitter. But a much better display than last week.
Yeah, certainly was. Danny, Jermaine, thank you very much indeed. Before we go, let's have a look at the Premier League table. Manchester United and West Brom maintain their 100% starts to the season, while Watford, Liverpool and Southampton are also unbeaten after 2 games. 4 teams have lost both of their matches so far. West Ham's inferior goal difference means they prop up the table. Let's see what the Sunday papers have to say. The Star lead with Jose Mourinho's claims that he isn't getting carried away by Man United's good start. The Sunday Express report that Barcelona are set to up their bid for Liverpool's Coutinho to £130 million. Cheap. And the Mail on Sunday say that Atletico Madrid are preparing a £50 million move for one-to-away Chelsea striker Diego Costa. Well, that's it. Southampton steal the show as Austin powers them to victory. Didn't he do well?